beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and we are doing the Artist's Way ADHD edition. So, how has it been? Holy moly. What can I say? We are going to talk about my first week doing the Artist's Way and morning pages. So, just to let you know, if you haven't seen the first video, the end of 2023, I decided to go on a more of a self-discovery journey, just to refine my creativity, I suppose. I felt like it's been lost. I have been doing paintings and singing and all kinds of things, writing, and I just sort of felt stuck. So, about a year ago, I heard about Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. So, I just decided it was time, and I ordered a couple of books, one for myself, one for my bestie, and now my daughter, Jessica's on board, and also my coach, my life and business coach, is also going to join me. So if you are not familiar with The Artist's Way, briefly again, it is a 12-week course to help you rediscover your creativity, your creative self, if you feel that you aren't a creative person and would like to be, or if you are an artist and you just want some more inspiration. My experience in the first week of doing The Artist's Way, a spiritual path to higher creativity, let me tell you, it has been a week. So, I read the introduction first of all, and if you are familiar with it, Julia Cameron goes into speaking about, God and the creator, the universe, however you want to word that, your higher self, higher spirituality. I'm more on the spiritual side, so I'm choosing to replace the word God with universe. And that's absolutely up to you. You can choose how you want to do that, which she explains that in the first introduction, which is fabulous. Because at first, I was a little apprehensive, but I love the fact that it's very spiritual and you can replace that context with whatever works for you. So in saying that, I set the tone for my morning pages. The very first morning, day one, I do have notes here, so because I will not remember everything. So week one, let me back up a little bit. Week one of The Artist's Way is called Recovering a Sense of Safety. So a safe place within yourself. That doesn't make sense. So the first chapter is about recovering a sense of safety. And Julia Cameron encourages you with prompts and tasks throughout the week to remember who those people were in your past that may have made you feel self-doubt. Maybe you created a piece of art and didn't get very good positive responses. So somebody that sort of, I guess, squashed your self-confidence when it came to your creativity. Rejection of some sort. And one of the tasks actually she gets you to do is to go back and remember 3 of your monsters that made you feel that way. Maybe it was a past art teacher. Maybe it was, for me, maybe a past figure skating coach, right? I didn't get the recognition, or, I was told that wasn't good and to keep doing it. And maybe just the choice of words is what, made me feel that way. So anyways, it's about kind of going into that and just free writing. But to start off with the very first day, it was a little bit of a struggle because it's just 3 pages of stream of consciousness writing. So whatever comes to your brain, just write it down. So my very first day, it was more of an awkward brain dump, I guess. I wasn't really quite sure what to write. My perfectionist ADHD brain wants to sit down and it be perfect and my writing be perfect, and it to make sense. It doesn't have to. I'm not writing it for anybody else but to just release my thoughts and put them on the page. So I did have to keep reminding myself of that. I do find that to be difficult. And I was struggling to actually sit down and focus. My brain kept going everywhere, and then I just had to realize to just write down what was in my brain. And then I needed to refill my coffee. And then my feet were cold. Then I felt like I needed to light a candle. So I realized that I was using these things to get out of actually writing. But I'm also realizing that I need those things to make me feel comfortable so that I feel like I can be in a state to write. Hopefully you get that. If you don't, you might be on the wrong channel. I'm just teasing. So once I figured out what I needed and got comfortable and got settled, I just started brain dumping. I haven't journaled consistently for a while, so I feel like I've been a bit rusty. I have journaled many years, off and on, and when I consistently journal, it gets easier. It just seems to, thoughts just seem to flow better. So I knew that this was going to be very profound. So after I did a brain dump and I got comfortable and I had more coffee, I started feeling creative, and creative writing just sort of started spilling out. I just started figuring out some of the things that have been holding me back and looking at different areas of my life that I would like to make some changes in, where I'm thriving, the areas that I'm not thriving in. And even though I know those things already, it's like I didn't want to think about them. But actually writing them down almost creates your answer as you're writing down your thoughts. Your answer seems to just come to you. I found that to be really cool. Very first day, I set myself up my ambiance and got comfy and sort of understood what I needed to help me feel relaxed and start my creative brain going. And immediately just the brain dump really helped first, and then I got creative. So Julia Cameron does suggest that the morning pages should be done in the morning. Now I know that that's not convenient for everybody, and I stressed about it a little bit because I do work certain shifts and I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but I have adjusted and I got up earlier and made it a priority. And yeah, so I'll leave it at that. But she also does say that if the morning doesn't work for you, then it's better late than never. Doesn't really matter what time, but just do them. Just get them done. Make it a priority. Do them in the morning. Along with these pages, the morning pages, Julia Cameron states to incorporate an artist date. So that's spending time on your own, going out and doing something that you feel will spark some creativity. And what did I do for my artist date? Well, it was around the holidays, and so it was very difficult to carve out some extra time. But what I did decide to do was fantastic, we had a gathering with a few friends, and one of my friends is a local artist, and he has made his artwork into Christmas cards and just beautiful, beautiful retro art. He paints local businesses, buildings, businesses. Yeah. And I'm enamored by him and intrigued, and he's given me a whole whack load of paintbrushes. So I just wanted to pick his brain a little bit and ogle over his artwork. So that's what I did. So that's what I spent my first artist date doing, and I loved every minute of it. It was inspiring. Yeah, got to pick an artist's brain, so that was fun. That will probably be one of my hardest things to figure out what to do for an artist date, or just trying to find the time and make the time, right? So that will be my challenge. The journal is a safe place, right? So we're supposed to be recovering a sense of our safety. So it's a safe place to write your thoughts down. These are not for anyone to see. Maybe you have to put it in a safe place, but it is a safe place to put your thoughts. So please don't hold back on your thoughts. There's no wrong way to do morning pages. And basically she just says these daily meanderings are not meant to be art. So try not to make them pretty, which is difficult for me because I want everything to be written out really well. So that's been a struggle. But I have just been brain dumping and not making it pretty. And it's made a difference in how I think. I literally felt lighter in my brain after the very first day. The rest of the day, I felt like I could think a little clearer, make better decisions, or decisions a little quicker, if that makes sense. So that was a very, very cool thing. Day 2, I actually really struggled to focus. I wasn't sure where I was going to sit. I kept getting up and getting different things because I was avoiding to actually sit down and do my morning pages. So I did struggle. It took me a couple hours before I actually sat down and got down to it. But when I did, I decided I was going to sit in a different room. And I sat in my dining room and looked outside, and I figured I would get inspiration just by looking outside. We live in the country, and I have a beautiful front yard with a lot of trees. It's winter, so that actually added a little bit of magicalness to it. But that's what I took for my inspiration, and that's what I started writing about because I really wasn't sure what I was going to write about, which was strange. I didn't realize that I would struggle that much the second day because I was so motivated by how I felt from the first day, but that's was reality. As I started describing my yard and the trees and the deck and how the snow was falling and, just being grateful about my location and where I live and my view outside of my window, I started looking inside my window and saw the beautiful flowers my husband had bought me, and just because, and my plants and the work that we have done on our house. And what I found myself doing was writing very creatively and descriptively, but I also actually started to get quite emotional. And I realized that in the 10 years I've been with my husband, I've had a love-hate relationship with this house. Well, we have lots of renovations that still need to be done, but we have done a lot to her already. And I call her now because in this second day of writing, as crazy as it sounds, I realized that I have an emotional connection to my home. And I've really hated her in the past. It held other energies, it held other memories, and it took me a while to get over that. And now I truly, over the last few years, feel like she's my home as well. And I just really want to take better care of her. and nurture her, because she's done wonderful things for us. She's protected us and kept us safe and all the crazy things that a house does, right? And costs us money. But has also brought us a lot of joy. And we have a lot of love and happiness and laughter that we share inside these walls. And I guess what I'm saying is, it just made me realize from the second day of writing, just from writing how the trees looked outside, to having an overwhelming emotional moment and feeling like I'm in love with my house. Like, it was just kind of crazy, but it was a bit of a breakthrough, actually, and very eye-opening. I was quite amazed as to how emotional and creative I had felt after day 2. Day 3 is basically about like affirmations. So you do your free writing, and then you have these tasks that you can complete throughout the week. And one of them is to give yourself an affirmation. So let's say I say, like, I am Amanda. I am an artist, and I have a natural talent at being creative. So when I say that to myself, what are the words that are coming? What's the voice that's coming in my head? What's being blurt out? It's more like, who are you? Like, who do you think you are? You don't have any talent. Nobody would ever look at your stuff. Nobody ever listen to you. What is your brain telling you? What are those words saying? And where are those words coming from? Are they coming from someone in your past criticizing you? Where do those voices come from? So that has been interesting, because when you write down your affirmations and then those blurts come into your brain as you're writing, we have to write that down too. And what are those blurts? And then, you take some time and try to remember who, or you might instantly know, where does that voice come from? Who is that? Was it a parent? Was it a teacher? Was it a past coach? Right? Where do those come from? So you're supposed to kind of go through that, and then you discover who those 3 monsters are, and who made you feel that way? Who said that to you? How did it make you feel? And why are you still feeling that way from that, right? Like, why? Why is that so stuck? Oh, another fun one too is one of these tasks. Now, I do my morning pages, and then I also add the tasks to it, or my morning pages can be kind of part of my tasks. It just sort of depends on where my brain is going at that time. One of the tasks is to choose 5 imaginary lives. So what would you want to be? Like myself, oh my goodness. My 5 imaginary lives would be a professional show skater, a farmer, like a horse rancher, a mortician. I know, I don't even know. A forensic detective. I think I have more than 5 here. An artist, like oil painter, and like a famous oil painter, and a famous performing artist, like a singer or an opera singer or something, like someone out there on the stage. And so those would be kind of like my 5 imaginary lives. And to go in depth, have fun with it, like write the details. What would you be wearing? Where are you living? All the things. And just go into a deep dive story. Pick 1 or 2 of those, right? That was really a lot of fun. Day 4, just again, I struggled a little bit. So then I discovered what really made me happy was different colored pens. So I got all of the beautiful color fine tip pens I have, and basically every thought I had was a different color. And that's what gave me the motivation to get through, I think it was day 5. Day 4, day 5, I can't remember, with the dopamine hit of colored markers. And then I just start writing about some of the things I want in the future, right? Want to take better care of my physical health and all the things. Also, I think it was day 4, I sort of had an epiphany. I was feeling like my brain was like a scrambled, tangled mess of Christmas lights at the bottom of a tub, box in the closet. What did I need for my brain to not feel like that anymore? And that was when I started to realize that I need to make sure I have a nice cup of coffee. I need to make sure that I have my colored pens. I need to have a blanket with me. I want to have a candle lit. My space has to be inspiring and feel good to me before I can function. So to me, that was like finding the plug. Those little tools was like finding the plug to that tangled mess of Christmas lights and plugging it in. Now it's lit up. It's still tangled, but at least now it's lit up and I can kind of see where the first light is and then where the next light is and how to untangle it. And that is how I felt once I started writing after I had given myself those things that I needed. So I actually made myself a little toolbox, like a toolbox menu, I guess, of the things that I need. And it's a whole list. It consists of, I need the ambiance, right? Candles, coffee, or a nice warm beverage, a spliff, a cozy blanket. I need to be comfortable. I need to be warm. I like to have soft jazz music in the background. It helps distract me a certain part of my brain so that I can actually focus. So those tools have really been helping me out with the morning pages with my brain. Day 5, again, you start with your stream of consciousness writing. Stream of consciousness writing. That's very hard to say, but that's what Julia Cameron says it is. Stream of consciousness writing. And then we have these tasks. So one of the other tasks that I did for day 5 was first you do your 4 monsters. Now you do your 3 creative like cheerleaders. So who are the people that are in your life that are your biggest fans, right? Your biggest cheerleader who know your ride or die. No matter what you do, they are, wow, that's incredible. And I don't mean toxic positivity, but they're really kind with their words and they just love what you do, right? No matter what you do, they're cheerleading you on. They're in your corner. That was really interesting and to really think about who truly has my back, right? Who truly does really want the best for me. So that was fun. That was a fun activity. Recap on my week. Did you catch that I missed out on days 6 and 7? I know you're supposed to do them every day, and I highly recommend that. But unfortunately, life got in the way, like Christmas and holidays. So I did skip out on 2 days. I did struggle with that. But I did get back on track. Please follow me for week 2. But before I go there, week 1 was truly eye-opening. Learned a bunch of stuff about myself and how I feel about certain things. It's like these morning pages are like sweeping the dark, deep corners of your brain, getting the stuff that you've just kind of packed in there for a while and getting it out. So far, week 1 has been an absolute hit, and I really hope that you follow along and see how this goes. And if you are on your own journey of the artist's way, please drop me a comment. Let me know how it's going. And if you do have a neurodivergent brain, your overactive brain, ADHD, I would absolutely love to hear from you and see what tips and tricks help you. That's all for this week. Share, follow, like, and subscribe. Share, like, and subscribe. I don't know. I'm going to get out one of these.